Hello, this is Christina, and today I'm going to be doing a weekly artist review of a photographer whose work immensely inspires me. And if you'd like to see more of these reviews and support me, please subscribe to my Patreon channel. The links is down below this video. Okay, so let's take a look. Today's photographer is Pixy Liao, is a Chinese photographer who was born and raised in Shanghai, China. And interestingly enough, she went to school in Memphis, Tennessee to study art and I think photography. And she's been doing photography since then and received a lot of international attention, awards, fellowships, and artist residencies in America, in the United Kingdom, and around the world. And she's represented and exhibited in many countries. Her work is really significant for the current time, for the 21st century, and for the role of a changing role of women in the 21st century, especially for the societies that are a little bit more conservative. So let me introduce you to this project called Experimental Relationship that I think brought her most of exposure and attention. In this project, she explores her personal relationship with her boyfriend, who is also Asian, but he's Japanese. And I think that's also sort of a controversy between, having being Chinese and dating a Japanese person. But that's not the only fact about this relationship. I think what she says in her interviews that the main controversy is that she is dating a person or living together with a person who is much younger than her. And in the society where she grew up, it was expected of a woman to find a man who is older and more experienced than her and who can guide her, protect her, maybe financially support her, like all these, all the stereotypes. And she's the one who likes to break the rules. And with this project, she's definitely doing that. And some of these images are just so special and, in their simplicity, but in their strong message. So let's have a look in this particular one where, she only shots on film, and there's never artificial light, so she uses whatever is available to her, and I really appreciate that, because how can you with so little tools, I guess, available to you, you can still create such visually compelling images. So this particular one is when her boyfriend is naked and he's rolled into a sushi roll with together with some blankets and some, I don't know, throws and scarves maybe, or something like that, maybe some bedding. So he's on the bed naked in their room, and it shows some vulnerability because he's so naked and he's so constricted in this construction that she made. And the room sort of also looks very very conservative in a way. So I think it's a juxtaposition of him being in that very typical bedroom and all these pastel colors, and suddenly there's this naked man rolled into a sushi roll. It's a very puzzling picture, and I just like the simplicity of it, but also the complexity of the idea. So in every shot that she takes, it's either a self-portrait of her together with him or just him. Like, for example, in this one, It's called King Under Me. So again, challenging those gender roles in relationships and the social roles as well. So the man is supposed to be dominating a woman in many cultures. And in this photograph, she's sitting on top of his shoulders. Also, the pose, quite a powerful pose that she's taking, and he's completely fine and calm and doesn't seem to be minding that. His woman sitting on his shoulders. It's interesting setting. The matching colors that they're wearing, the curtain behind them, the shiny fabric and limited color palette, basically just their very dark black hair, that beige background and just the pink of their underwear. That's it. And so I think and also a straight on composition, very symmetrical posing, and they're looking straight at the camera, straight at the viewer. And I think that's what this simplicity and straightforwardness, that's what makes this image so powerful. Let's take a look. And she uses that sort of power of woman in control, kind of a powerful pose in many of the images in the series, when she's supporting her boyfriend, or she's holding, or he's like hanging over her shoulders. This one, it's also quite interesting, also quite minimalistic in its details, but also a strong message, how they are connected with all these strings, and it's like blood coming from his heart into her veins and her mouth even. It's a pretty strong message, and I think the way that it's not, digitally manipulated in any way, and it's just a straightforward film shot, it makes it even stronger because it's so real, and it's like it's so striking because of that. Let me show you some other examples of that sort of a more of a passive role of her boyfriend and her in their relationship. And I think Hanging There it's called, and I think in one of her interviews, so she started this project in 2007, and she was interviewed 9 years later. She's been still, and I think she still continues working on this. So she kept on working, and in her interview of 2016, she mentioned that over the years, when she met her boyfriend, he's 5 years younger, and he wasn't very experienced, and she was completely dominated in this relationship. But over the years, he became more experienced and more mature, and started participating and giving ideas to the project. I think this one is probably my favorite. Maybe shot in the earlier years. I'm not quite sure. Carry the Weight of You, it's called. I think what I really like about this one is how easily she's just holding him on her shoulder, how lightweight he is, and how simply she's just looking at the camera like it's such a normal thing to carry a man. And what she's wearing, it's a very almost like childlike outfit. There's white and red elements and the red chair behind her, and like simple other color details around her in the room. It tells a lot of a story. So they're almost, I think it's not just him who is so lightweight, but their relationship is also very lightweight. And she's very childlike in this picture. And yet at the same time she's very strong. So that juxtaposition of what she looks like and what she's trying to say with this image and with this project is very, very striking. Um, so yeah, really, really beautiful, but also very powerful conceptual project called Experimental Relationship. And just to show you a few other things, examples of her work, I think the project that she started after a few years of having worked already on experimental relationships, she decided to go further and do more intimate series of images called For Your Eyes Only. And it's also a very fine art project, pushing the limits, trying out like how far can I go in sharing personal details of my personal life. And but it's not just about being daring, but also I think it's still about being creative, being an artist, artistically approaching the subject. How can you interpret the subject in a way that it still looks puzzling and conceptual and visually interesting? So a lot of these images are really strong and at the same time really beautiful. Like this one. And so simple. So I hope this project and the work of Pixy Liao will give you some ideas and maybe broaden your approach to how you view your photography, how you tell your stories, and how relevant your work is like to our current times, to our social environment, to maybe challenging social norms, or bringing up specific issues, or making something that is meaningful is a question that we all ask ourselves. And I think this photographer's example is very, very striking, and I'm always happy to see such examples of photographers or artists who were able to find their voice and find their way of expressing those ideas and finding a meaning to their art. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to check out more videos, subscribe to my Patreon channel, to my YouTube channel, and my Instagram, IGTV. All the links are down below in the description. And if you like your work reviewed, please also reach out to me. The email contact is in the description as well. Thank you for watching.